Babylon, one of the most famous cities of antiquity, has a rich and complex history that stretches over millennia. Located along the Euphrates River in present-day Iraq, Babylon played a central role in Mesopotamian history and is associated with remarkable advancements in art, architecture, governance, and scholarship. Here's a detailed look at its history. Early history and founding c. 2300 to 1800 BCE. Babylon was originally a small town in the Akkadian Empire, founded by the Amorites, a Semitic people. The city began to rise to prominence in the late 3rd millennium BCE during the reign of the Akkadian king Sargon c. 334 to 279 BCE. At this time, it was just one of many small city-states scattered across Mesopotamia. By around 1894 BCE, Babylon became independent under the rule of the Amorite dynasty. It was under the rule of its sixth king, Hammurabi 1792 to 1750 BCE, that Babylon became a major power. The rise under Hammurabi 1792 to 1750 BCE. Hammurabi was a brilliant ruler and military strategist. Under his reign, Babylon extended its control over much of Mesopotamia, from the Persian Gulf to northern Mesopotamia, uniting the region into one of the largest empires of the ancient world. This period is known as the First Babylonian Empire. Hammurabi is best remembered for his Code of Laws. The Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes in history. His rule brought stability, and Babylon became a center of culture, trade, and governance. Decline and the Kassite period c. 1600 to 1155 BCE. After Hammurabi's death, the empire gradually weakened due to internal struggles and invasions from the Hittites and other groups. Around 1595 BCE, the Hittite king Masili I sacked Babylon, which led to the collapse of the First Babylonian Empire. Shortly after, the Kassites, a mountain people from the Zagros region, took control of Babylon. Around 1570 BCE, they ruled Babylon for several centuries in what is known as the Kassite period. Under the Kassites, Babylon became a major religious and cultural center, and the city was revered as the religious capital of Mesopotamia. However, the Kassite dynasty was not as expansionist as Hammurabi's empire, and their rule was relatively peaceful. Assyrian domination c. 911 to 627 BCE. In the early 1st millennium BCE, Babylon often found itself in conflict with the Assyrian Empire, its powerful northern neighbor. During this period, Babylon was frequently subjected to Assyrian domination. Kings like Tiglath-Pileser III, 744 to 727 BCE, and Sennacherib 705 to 681 BCE attacked and even destroyed parts of Babylon. Sennacherib famously destroyed the city in 689 BCE after a rebellion, but was assassinated shortly thereafter, which was seen by many as divine punishment for his desecration of the sacred city. His son Esarhaddon 681 to 669 BCE rebuilt Babylon, and later Assyrian kings treated it with greater respect, allowing it to retain some autonomy. Neo-Babylonian Empire 626 to 539 BCE. Babylon's most glorious era came with the rise of the Neo-Babylonian Empire in the late 7th century BCE, after the fall of the Assyrian Empire. In 626 BCE, Nabopolassar, a Chaldean leader, revolted against the Assyrians and founded a new Babylonian dynasty. His son, Nebuchadnezzar II r. 605 to 562 BCE, is the most famous ruler of this period. Nebuchadnezzar II expanded Babylonian territory, defeating the Egyptians and the Kingdom of Judah, and capturing Jerusalem in 597 BCE. The most famous event of his reign was the Babylonian captivity, in which large numbers of Jews were deported to Babylon after the destruction of Jerusalem. Under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon became one of the most magnificent cities of the ancient world. It was adorned with monumental architecture, including the Ishtar Gate, Etemen Anki, the Great Ziggurat of Babylon, and the famed Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which later became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, though their existence is debated. Fall of Babylon 539 BCE. The Neo-Babylonian Empire was short-lived. In 539 BCE, Babylon fell to the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great. According to ancient sources, including the Cyrus Cylinder, Cyrus took Babylon without a battle, and the city's inhabitants welcomed him as a liberator. Cyrus respected Babylon's cultural and religious traditions, and the city continued to flourish under Persian rule, becoming an important administrative center within the vast Persian Empire. However, its political independence was effectively over. Hellenistic and Roman periods 331 BCE, 7th century CE. In 331 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered Babylon after defeating the Persian king Darius III. Alexander planned to make Babylon the capital of his empire, and he even died there in 323 BCE. After his death, Babylon fell into the hands of his successors, the Seleucids. Over time, Babylon declined as the Seleucid kings built a new capital, Seleucia, on the Tigris. Although it remained a center of learning, particularly in astronomy and mathematics, the city gradually declined in importance. By the time of the Parthian Empire, to 47 BCE, 2 to 24 CE, and the Sassanid Empire to 24 to 651 CE, Babylon was largely abandoned, and its once glorious ruins lay forgotten. Legacy and rediscovery. Babylon's legacy persisted through the centuries, influencing Jewish, Christian, and Islamic thought. It was mentioned frequently in the Bible, where it came to symbolize decadence and oppression. The ruins of Babylon were rediscovered in the 19th century by European archaeologists, and since then, extensive excavations have revealed much about its ancient history. The site is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, although the area has suffered damage due to wars and development in modern Iraq. Conclusion: Babylon's history is a story of rise, fall, and rebirth. From its emergence as a small town to its apex under Hammurabi and Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon shaped the cultural and political landscape of Mesopotamia and beyond. Its contributions to law, architecture, and culture left an indelible mark on human civilization, even as the city itself eventually faded into ruin.